you like to specify the person or persons. We have to identify persons or persons who will do this baseline assessment. We should know clearly who's going to do this. Okay? Then the detox starts. Right? Day one itself the detox starts. But then the detox starts, you can use either, I would think, symptom triggered regimen is what I would prefer, or for some reason you want to only go through this fixed dose, that's also fine for me. Okay, you can depend on that, no? So the detox is over. Let's say mostly it will be over by 7 days. Thank you. Mostly it will be over by 7 days, and then post detox. Let's say 8th day. You are going to counsel him for disulfiram. So this is psychoeducation about disulfiram alcohol interaction, psychoeducation both for the patient and as well as for the family. Any family member who is there with him. Okay? And then you are also getting the informed consent. And then you are giving him the medication. So 8th day, 9th day, 10th day he is receiving disulfiram. All the willing patients get disulfiram. Okay? And then you discharge him on the 10th day. 10th day you are discharging, right?
Yes.
And then he comes back to you periodically. Periodic review is done. Whenever he comes for the periodic review, maybe in the beginning he'll come for once a week, once in 2 weeks. I don't know how what's your schedule.
Here we normally ask them to come back after 1 month only.
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Let them come. But you have to give disulfiram for 1 month. The point I'm trying to say is, till the point of review, you should be having the disulfiram. You cannot be saying, I only gave me 1 week time, but I am coming only after a month. So you give him 1 month disulfiram and ask him to come. And then follow-up assessments, you have to definitely not miss these appointments. Follow-up assessment should be done on 3rd month, 6th month, 9th month and 12th month. Your periodic review, whatever you are doing, you should be, like doing it. But the follow-up assessment with the schedule must be done on 3, 9, 12 month. So you're really talking about day 1 on baseline assessment, and you're talking about follow-up assessments 4 times. So we're doing 5 assessments totally. This is the baseline assessment. This is the follow-up assessment. 1 here and 4 here. And from the 8th day onwards, he's on disulfiram, and continuously he's on disulfiram. Okay. Nothing else we change. We are not doing anything big. What we are introducing, we are doing everything. So there is no change in the way things are functioning. Only thing that will change is you have not had disulfiram before, now you will have disulfiram. That's a major thing. But since this is a study, 50 people who are in for the study, who are following this exclusion-inclusion criteria, because not everybody can be given this, So those following the exclusion-inclusion criteria, this is where the intake, in this intake only you will do the inclusion, exclusion criteria, treatment contract, everything comes here. Okay? You get it? So once the patient in the ward, you do the intake, you see whether the candidate is a fit candidate for the research study, you get a treatment contract signed by him, and then you do the assessment, baseline assessment, and then you start the detox as usual. This is exactly what you're doing anyway. You want to change it to symptom triggered, is fine. Then you post detox, you counsel him for this, and then psychoeducation, informed consent, give him disulfiram, send him with disulfiram, and periodically follow him. Is that making it?
Yes.
Huh? So if this is done, I think we should be doing it in a clear way. I don't think it's very clear. Now I can.
That's just clear.
Huh?
Clear.
Okay.
Sir, my one suggestion
Yes.
now, since we have lot of patients who are coming for alcohol detoxification, my suggestion would be that those patients who actually fulfills this inclusion and exclusion criteria, we take 50 of them
Yeah.
separately, and others who are not either fit or who exceeds the number more than 50, maybe they may be little bit, since it is not within the research, do we need to treat in the similar way or little bit different in terms of assessment and those things?
It's, what is the beyond the number study?
See, what I think is, let me put it differently. Things should not be different between the 50 clients and the rest.
Yes.
Ideally speaking, the 50 clients will definitely get disulfiram. They are not eligible for disulfiram for some reasons. They cannot be part of the study. All the 50 patients in the study will be on disulfiram. Beyond the 50 who are there, may be on disulfiram, may not be on disulfiram. It is up to you. The difference, the biggest difference will be, whereas the 50 clients will go through baseline assessments and follow-up assessments in a rigorous way, that kind of a rigorous assessment will not be carried out with other people because it's time consuming. And you do not have the kind of a staff who will be sitting and doing these assessments on a regular basis. So I don't think it's right on my part to say to everybody, do it everybody. Do it everybody, this should be a, like an institute with double strength of the staff. If you have double staff, already your staff must be
Send enough
stretched.
us.
Like already you are maybe, feeling suffocated, So I don't put more work into you, that's not right. That's not ethical also. So I would say for this people, 50 people not only get disulfiram, they'll get a baseline, they'll get a follow-up assessment. That is the additional work for the staff. As far as patients are concerned, they get the benefit of disulfiram. For the rest of the people, patients are getting the benefit.
Sir, those 50 patients, if they ask for a compensate, can we give to them or?
Yes. Research patients, you cannot give them acamprosate.
Twice.
Research patients, you cannot give them acamprosate or naltrexone, whatever. Because when you give the research patients, you really will have a confusion. Tomorrow, what is the idea of doing the research? You want to go back to the government health minister and tell them, listen, we put 50 people on disulfiram. Normally in 1 year time, many of these people admitted will come back again and again for relapse. In 1 year, we have not seen any of the relapse in these people. That is the information you want to provide to them. Right? What is the idea of doing this 1 year follow-up? 1 year follow-up, you will tell all the people whom I have taken and put them on disulfiram. Looks like when they continue with disulfiram, they are all sober at the end of 1 year. 90% of them are sober at the end of 1 year. But those people who are not on disulfiram, we used to have an experience of 5 relapse, 3 relapse, 4 relapse in a year. That is not happening. That's the information you are going to give. Then everybody will start with, the government will start to think, why not make disulfiram widely available to everybody and anywhere and everywhere. So that's what we are trying to do by this research study. Okay. So this 50 will probably finish up in 1 month time. Because the kind of load that you have, the 50 is not going to be that difficult.
Alcohol should not be a problem.
Alcohol is not a problem. So I don't see any problem with alcohol. See, and also alcohol is not going to be a big thing for you, excepting that 50 patients, you will not only put them on disulfiram, additional work for the staff would be baseline assessments and follow-up assessments. And actually doing some bit of a counseling about disulfiram and disulfiram alcohol interaction, getting the contract signed. This is additional work. But it's worth that. I'm requesting and pleading and requesting you to do this because, this will really help this country. Because then you will not have this, guy coming to you for 8 times, coming to you for 4 times, 6 times. Because we used to have the problem. We stopped all the problem. People don't come to us again and again. They're able to minimally, like 60-70% of the people are able to, remain sober. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing, From 10%, figure goes to 60%. It's always better, right? And you also feel proud about your job. Otherwise, when they see on the street, oh sister, we saw you last time, but then my husband is drinking again. It doesn't really speak well to us, no? Every time that we see, oh my husband is drinking again, and then you've gone back, your patient has gone back again, I used to be very frustrated. What can
Sometimes wives.
Yes, I haven't complained, no? Oh, you dated my husband, he's gone back again, he's drinking again. You gave so much of advice at that time, I don't know what's happening, You're also getting frustrated. So, this will stop. You'll also feel good that people are getting help. I would say reasonably 60-70% of people will be able to remain sober when you put them on diazepam. It's a huge, huge benefit. Huge benefit.
Professor, just one, just to clear my doubt with you. One, I think sister said that they have review after every month. I'm just thinking, because it's a new thing here, and then, and again, because it doesn't reduce the craving, it reduces merely deterrent, evokes it. So, do you advise 1 month or in the start?
Now what I tell you, what we do in our hospital, we do in our setting. First, after discharge, we always ask them to come back the next week.
I think that's
So, and then the next week,
yes,
and then after a fortnight, and then monthly.
that's what
So 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and monthly. That's what we do. So that first month visit, you would have done 3 visits because that's a critical period. First 30 days is a very critical period. So what we normally do is 7th day, 14th day, 28th day, and then monthly.
So, sir, where do they follow up here? Because normally our follow-up happens in the OPG by doctors. So if they are supposed to come like every week.
Here is better also.
Yeah. Here, for the 50 clients, I would only think the nurse will be the one. Just
They
see,
come to the ward.
they come to the ward, and then unless there is a change in the medication, they don't need to, send it to the doctor. Only the change of medication, doctor has to be seen.
So in the follow-up, we really have to see whether the patient is taking
Diazepam, exactly.
or not.
Exactly.
And
Yeah, you're right. They hit the nail.
we need to like monitor.
Exactly.
Monitor.
Also, reinforce. Isn't very saying it's not going to happen. They'll keep on asking you after doubts about, oh no, my sexual thing has come down. It's all because of diazepam. I'm not able to have an erection only because of diazepam. I didn't sleep well only because of diazepam. I have some funny things in that. They'll put every side effect to all diazepam. They'll say mainly they'll come back and say I'm not having sexual, problems, and I'm sure it is only because of diazepam.
Do we need to keep a record on the follow-up, this weekly follow-up?
Not necessary, not for research purposes. This is only to make sure. His idea is purely on the patient's
But
benefit.
if there are like significant complaints, like size mentioned about their sexual dysfunction.
You just have to counsel them and say, no, it is not need medication.
But Professor, just again, would it not be better if they can?
They keep a record,
Yes,
like
because it
yeah.
might give them good ideas.
Yeah. If there are significant problems, you keep a record of it.
But there won't be like major side effects or.
No, a diazepam 250 milligram is not going to produce any kind of a side effect. Obviously.
Excuses, not.
No, they see what I'll happen. If I take something which I'm not very happy about, I'll attribute everything that happens to my body to the medication. Right?
Yes.
Diabetics also there, the moment you go and after taking this diabetic medication, I'm having all the problem, I have this and that, and everybody says it, When they are not very happy taking medication, they'll attribute all the problems to the medication. That happens to every single disorder.
So we do this like every week for a period of 1
No,
month?
no, 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 no.
How would this work?
1 week, 2nd week, 4th week. So 1 month, instead of 1 month, you see them 3 times that month. Because that's a critical period, If somebody takes it for a month, he becomes little more confident. Okay, the problem is most people will start to default in the first month itself.
So
If
the
you get-
success rate will be better, is it?
Exactly. 30 days is a critical period. After that, you are seeing every month. Every month. See, also the wife will get, because she'll become an expert. No, 1 month you're taken, I know what the hell, this is also, he's assuring you nothing is going to happen. Don't believe all that, stories, She'll become stronger. Otherwise, she'll also start to buy the story. Maybe this is a very strong medicine. Something will happen, something is happening here. It's a new medication. They're trying something, with my husband. All these funny things will happen to their head.
And Professor, he has one
Yeah.
standing case actually.
Denied, right after the medication, right after he came here, then he's having a lots of problem, and then he's smelling the medications. So I haven't seen it happen.
They will do that. If they don't want it, if you're forcing into that, that's why I said this counseling is so critical. In the counseling itself, we'll address everything. Upfront, I'll tell them everything. Nothing, 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 nothing. So we preempt everything by saying, none of this, everything will say, no, I will not produce this, will not produce this, will not produce this. See, thousands and thousands and millions of people around the world are taking it. Millions of people. You want to know, these days people are on Google. Google and figure out about disulfiram. How many people are on disulfiram? Millions are on disulfiram all around the world. How come you are going to have a separate problem that millions will not have? You know, that's what we have to say.
Even problem with urination.
They will say sexual is what Indian patients, my value, I also put sexual because almost every patient who I put on, they will come back and say, I'm not having an erection. Most people have a problem with erection because they've been drinking alcohol for a long period of time. When they were drinking alcohol, they were not bothered about the wife. Now they stop alcohol, the mind starts to think about the next pleasure. Next pleasure is sex. So they try the sex after a long period. And then they figure out that they're not able to have it. It's only because of the alcohol-related damage that's happened to the liver and to the sexual function. But they'll attribute it to the disulfiram. You said no, this is not due to the medication.
Sir, now since when we start disulfiram, we have to give an informed consent. No?
Yeah.
So in that informed consent, if you can produce a leaflet regarding the actions, side effects, and everything about disulfiram, so that we can show it to the patient, because it is the nurse who is going to actually advise the person to about the disulfiram. So in that one, if we have this leaflet printed both in English and all language, so that patient can actually go through the side effects as well as side effects of disulfiram.
This is what one of the patient was asking this morning, that the engineer and he was asking for the leaflet. I said we talked about, and I said the live leaflet is coming to you.
No, I think what I really we did not think is Kunal just I'll have to get back and I'll send the English version of what we have in our
I
wall.
think that will be very useful.
So I'll scan and send it to you on Monday. So you can, but I would certainly recommend that disulfiram alcohol interaction card. What I'm talking about, this is called disulfiram interaction. See, this on one page it will say what is disulfiram and what are the potential side effects of disulfiram.
Okay.
And it will talk about what is alcohol disulfiram interaction.
Yes.
And then what should you do in case of an alcohol disulfiram interaction. 4 pages are there. First page will be patient's detail. Name, blah, 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 psychiatric ward and all that. That you can write. The first page will leave it empty. The second page will be disulfiram and its side effects. Third page will be alcohol disulfiram interaction. Last page will be what happens if there is a disulfiram alcohol interaction. So that has everything. Invariably it's of no use. Just to make sure that the client knows, oh my God, I'm on this kind of thing. I cannot ask questions, there are questions already there, answered. You're right, that is something. And that should be in Bhutanese. They're not in English. People should say, I don't speak, so they gave me something which I did not. And then the informed consent form should also be in Bhutanese.
So we'll translate and then.
These two I'll send it to you.
I will give you, but remember following up also, Mr. Doji.
No, Monday it's ready,
Yeah.
it is available.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
have to scan and send it.
So when we meet together, no?
I'll send it to him. Doji's email I have.
So I'll remind you on.
I have.
No, I'll have to send a number of
So you
things.
have your email?
I'm just requesting if you can as backup remember.
I'll send it to you, please.